Yo guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today we are breaking down how to fill out purchase contracts and assignment contracts. So let's get right into the video. Yo guys, so let's get right into it on how to fill out a purchase contract and an assignment contract. First, you're going to need to get a purchase contract and an assignment contract. And lucky for you, I'm giving them out for free. So the first step is go to jacobblank.com, all right? And there's a bunch of stuff on here, right? There's like all the services that I use in my business where you can get discounts, the feed of my most recent YouTube videos. You can sign up for a newsletter and receive other free information and tons of stuff. All right, but you can also check out about the story about me and my journey in real estate and in life. You can read my story. You can watch about my first flip and my first wholesale deal. And then you can also go to the services thing, and you're able to get discounts on all the services, basically all the services that I use in my business. But this is how you're going to get your contracts. You're going to go to free. And when you go to free, you're going to fill out your name and your phone number. This is not my real phone number. This is not my real email, but you fill that out, then you click download free content. All right? Now you are able to download a free purchase contract, a free assignment contract, and a free script. For this video, we are just going to be downloading the free purchase contract, free assignment contract. So we download those two things. Now we're going to go to Drive, and we're going to throw them into a folder. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our purchase contract, we're going to open it as a Google Doc, all right? And now here we go. Let's start. So this agreement is made. You're going to put the date that you writ up the agreement. So today is the 14th. All right? And then right here is going to be the seller. All right? This agreement is made by and between the seller name. So if there's multiple people on the title, you'll have to put both their names, like Joanne and Thomas Benton, for example. But if just Joanne owns it, then you'd put Joanne Benton. All right? So seller name is going to go right here. All right? Seller name, hereafter called sellers. And now this is you. So if you don't already have an LLC, then you will use your name. But I recommend doing this through an LLC. So if you do have an LLC, put your company. So company name, LLC. So for example, Jacob Blank LLC, right? All right? But if you don't have an LLC, you can just put your name there. All right, so that is going to be the next thing. And now let's move on. And or assigns. See how it says seller name, hereafter called sellers, and your company, which is the buyer. But it also says and or assigns, meaning you don't have to be the one that closes. You can have an assignee, right? You can assign the deal. And most sellers do not catch that it says and or assigns. They just don't know what it is, and they don't even ask you about it. But basically, it's your company or assigns who is going to be the buyer. Now, buyer and seller shall hereafter jointly be referred to as the parties, all right? Description of the premises. The seller agrees to sell the property located at, all right? And so 123 Main Street. This is where you put their address in, okay? You put their address in here. All right. And now it says as is condition, all right? Description is including any fixtures, window coverings. So certain things that are like built in, like shutters and stuff like that, the seller needs to leave. So it states all that. Now purchase price. The seller agrees to convey the property to the buyer for the sum of total sales price cash, okay? You're going to have it say it twice. So let's say we're buying the property for $120,000. We're going to put $120,000 right there. And here we're going to do the same thing. $120,000. All right? Some of the lines might be messed up, so you got to drag it over. All right. Total sales price, okay? So see how we stated it twice? Most of the stuff that you put in a contract, you want to make it bold because it's the things that are unique to this individual contract. Now, earnest money. A seller may ask for a lot of earnest money, but most of the time we put $100, okay? We put $100. Now, the minimum you can put on a contract is $10, and the reason you need earnest money because otherwise this is just a piece of paper. You need a dollar amount backing up contract to make it actually valid. All right, but now we have all our terms. Okay, buyer to pay all closing costs, attorney fees, title fees, and other miscellaneous costs to be paid by the buyer. Any taxes or liens or encumbrances or judgments or mortgage owed will be paid by the seller. This term 3 gets excluded out because you have close of escrow set down at the bottom. Now number 4, property sold as is with no warranties stated or implied from the seller, okay? Seller to provide buyer with permission to access the property for purposes such as evaluation. So this is, term 5 is how you're going to be able to get access with contractors to walk the property. When contractors, I mean buyers. Term 5 lets you walk the property with contractors, which are really buyers, all right? Number 6, this offer is contingent on seller providing clear title. So obviously if there's a judgment that's worth more than what you're paying it, right? There's a $70,000 judgment, but you have the property under contract for $60,000, then there is no deal there. So the title has to be clean, all right? Number 7, this offer is subject to financial partner's approval. This is your out. This is your out. Number 7 is so important. This is your out. This is how you don't get stuck in the contract, and this is how you can get your earnest money back and get out of the deal just in case you couldn't find a buyer. Just in case you couldn't sell the deal and you need to cancel, number 7 is how you get out. Your financial partner didn't approve, so you're canceling the deal. So number 7 is very important. Number 8, the title report and survey is required and will be ordered promptly. Cool. Any changes must be made in writing, so any changes must be made in the form of an addendum or a new agreement. Seller agrees to let buyer market the property. So number 10 is very important too. Number 10 allows you to be able to blast this deal out all over the internet to buyers to try to sell your deal. Number 11, the seller states that there is no hazardous substances, like they weren't cooking meth in the house and stuff like that. Insurance. This one a lot of sellers are confused on, but basically if the property, so number 12, insurance. Basically if the property burns down from now in between our close dates, so say today is the 14th and we're supposed to close on the 26th, say it burns down on the 20th. We will still close on the 26th as long as we can inherit their insurance policy and deal with the insurance company to get money for that. Risk of loss. If property is damaged, buyer has the option of accepting insurance. So number 13 is very similar to that as well. 14, no judgments. The seller warrants there's no judgments or liens or anything against the property. Okay? Number 15, acceptance. This instrument will be used as a binding contract. That's basically what it is. Now close of escrow here down at the bottom, this is where you're going to set it. So we would do 12/30. Let's say we want to close at the end of the year, 12/30/2020, and I always put or sooner, just in case, or sooner. I always put it. Gives you a little bit more wiggle room with the agreement. I always put or sooner. Any additional terms down here, so for example, seller to have 2 days after close to vacate property, title to hold back $10,000 till property is vacant. So you can have like say you need to do a hold back because they needed a little bit of time after. That's the type of stuff you'd put in other terms area, other terms that are very unique to this seller, this agreement, this deal. Okay, that's where other terms is. This is where you put your title company. Personally, I use Pioneer Title Agency, all right? So that's where you put your title company. And boom, now you are going to take this and put this in DocuSign. And when you put it in DocuSign, all you're going to do is go through, you're going to add the seller's email, you're going to add your email, you're going to add their name, your name, and then once you get to the part where you add the signing spots, you drop your signature here, your date here, and then you drop the seller's signature here and their date there. All right, so we're done with how to fill out a purchase agreement. Let's get over to the assignment agreement. Let's open it up in Google Docs. Here we go. All right. So because you got it for free, I leave you a little message here. You can delete this message. Now here, assignment of contract / interest. Now, we are the assignor, so you're going to add your company here or your name. So your company, LLC, right here. All right? And you got to remember, you're the assignor, okay? So you're the assignor, and the person you're selling the deal to is the assignee, okay? So let's see here. All right, assignee assigns all rights to this agreement to assignee, okay? Under the agreement for the property located at, all right, so here we'd put the address, 123 Main Street. All right. 123 Main Street. All right, a copy of the agreement is attached. Cool. Signee shall assume all rights of the Exhibit A, the original agreement. Perfect. All right. So let's keep moving forward. Here we go. The parties have negotiated a purchase price of the above reference agreement of, so let's say we're selling them the deal for $120,000, which is an as-is price, no warranties guaranteed. Adding the assignment fee, adding the assignment fee of $10,000, okay? And the total purchase price for that buyer is going to be $130,000, okay? Because we have it under contract for $120,000. We add the assignment fee of $10,000, and the total purchase price is $130,000. All right, let's keep moving forward. The assignee shall reimburse the assigner the original's escrow amount. So say we put $100 on our original purchase agreement with the seller, we will get that $100 reimbursed. Now, earnest money. The buyer shall deposit earnest money, okay? We want hard, non-refundable earnest money. We want a minimum of $3,000 from a buyer up to $5,000. We always try to get $5,000. So whenever you're bringing a buyer in to buy your deal, make sure you get a lot of earnest money. Okay, so we're going to do $5,000. All right. And shall be deposited at title company address, your office that you use. All right. And it will be by 5 p.m. on 11/15, the next day. All right. Cool. All right. We keep moving forward. Now, it needs to be closed, okay? The deal needs to be closed on what date? We did 12/30/2020, okay? And now, if the buyer holds up the closing at all, if he delays closing, he will be charged a $1,000 penalty a day, if you read in here, okay? But if the seller holds it up, if we hold it up, he's not charged anything. That buyer is not charged anything. But if the buyer holds it up, he will be charged an extra $1,000 a day. If the assignee, the buyer, does not close by 24 hours, we can issue them a cure notice that they're in breach of contract, etc., etc. Remedies, just a bunch of stuff saying we do not know anything about the property, it's an as-is, etc., etc. Okay? Effectiveness, this assignment will become a binding agreement. Cool. Other terms, the undersigned is just a bunch of stuff saying that, it is, as is sale, right? So then they can't come back to us if something crazy happens. And then you always want to have at the end of it, this contract is not assignable, because somebody could get your deal under contract and then go and just assign it to someone else for $5,000 more and just reassign your deal. That's called daisy chaining. So make sure your assignment contract always says this contract is non-assignable. But yeah, then you're going to put your signature in here, your date in here, and the buyer's signature and the buyer's date in here in DocuSign, and boom, you are done. You are done, all right? You're going to add, I missed one thing. You're going to add the assignee in here. So you're going to add buyer LLC, all right? Because you need your LLC and their LLC. I missed it. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That is how you fill out contracts. So also, one quick thing real quick, you can download a free script as well on jacobblank.com. There's also a bunch of media on here of podcasts I have went on and radio shows and all this stuff. So if you haven't checked out jacobblank.com, check it out, because there's a lot of cool stuff on here that will help you get started in real estate. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. I hope that was helpful, because I know in the beginning it's like, how do I fill out a legally binding agreement, But it's very, very simple. These agreements are like 2 pages long, 1 to 2 pages long, so it's very simple. And yeah, those are all the things you need to change. Sometimes a deal might be unique and you kind of got to do other terms and stuff, but as you get better at real estate and you do more deals, you will learn more language to throw into these contracts and to edit them, etc. But for now, the 2 free contracts that I give you are golden. So go to jacobblake.com/free, download your contracts. Comment down below if this video was helpful. But other than that, thank you guys for watching.